The story begins in the bustling streets of Kiev, where a group of friends had just returned from a short trip to the Philippines. They weren't tourists, really. They were adventurers, curious about the world, but they didn't expect to return home carrying the spark of a culinary revolution. What started as a casual craving during their stay in Manila soon became an obsession they could not ignore. Jollibee, the fast food giant from the Philippines, had captured their hearts. Its iconic fried chicken, sweet-style spaghetti, and that unmistakable joy infused into every burger had created a sense of nostalgia before they even knew it existed. Back in Ukraine, the friends gathered in their apartment, boxes stacked around them like a small mountain of red and yellow cardboard. Inside, carefully packed, were their treasures: frozen Jollibee Chickenjoy, individual packs of sweet-style spaghetti, yum burger kits, and even dessert staples like peach mango pies. The apartment quickly transformed into a mix between a storage room and a tasting laboratory. When the first batch of Chickenjoy was heated, the aroma filled the air, setting off an immediate frenzy. One friend, trying to be practical, suggested they eat slowly, savor each bite, and perhaps ration for the weekend. This was met with laughter and gentle ridicule. Practicality had no place here. The fried chicken was golden, crispy, and perfectly seasoned. Each crunch was a tiny revelation, each bite a reminder of laughter-filled nights in the Philippines. Word spread quickly. Friends of friends began to arrive, drawn by rumors of this magical fast food that had crossed continents. Soon, the living room became a full-blown tasting event. People marveled at the sweet spaghetti, a taste so unusual compared to traditional Ukrainian bolognese, yet comforting and oddly familiar. Children giggled as they tried the Chickenjoy. Adults reminisced about their own culinary adventures. And everyone, without exception, was swept away by the infectious happiness that seemed to radiate from the food. It wasn't just about the taste. It was the culture embedded in every meal. Eating Jollibee wasn't merely consuming fast food. It was participating in a shared Filipino experience. The friends found themselves mimicking the cheerful energy of the staff they had encountered in Manila. They laughed as one friend attempted to reenact the cheerful greetings. "Hi Po, welcome to Jollibee," in his best exaggerated accent. Others joined in, creating a small, vibrant atmosphere that felt like a microcosm of the Philippines right in Kiev. Soon the idea struck them. Why not bring this experience to everyone in Ukraine? They began sketching plans for a small restaurant, imagining a space filled with Filipino music, warm smiles, and the signature red and yellow aesthetic of Jollibee. The goal wasn't to create a franchise. It was to create a home, a place where the magic of the Philippines could be shared, where fried chicken and sweet spaghetti were not just food, but a bridge between cultures. They faced immediate challenges. Ukrainian kitchens weren't built for Jollibee's exact recipes. Ingredients had to be substituted, flavors adjusted, yet they were determined to preserve authenticity. They experimented tirelessly, testing various spice blends and sauces, and even learned to bake the perfect peach mango pie using local fruits. It was a labor of love, but one that brought them closer together, united by laughter, frustration, and countless late-night taste tests. In parallel, they maintained their connection to the Philippines through frozen shipments. Every month, they coordinated deliveries of actual Jollibee products to supplement their restaurant offerings. This became a ritual, almost ceremonial, as they gathered to unpack each box with reverence. Each piece of frozen Chickenjoy felt like a treasure, each pack of spaghetti a connection to the bustling streets of Manila, and each pie a reminder of the tropical sunsets they had witnessed. The restaurant slowly took shape, beginning as a small, cozy spot in central Kiev. Its opening was modest, yet the line outside quickly grew. Curious locals, friends, and even journalists came to witness this culinary phenomenon. When the first customers tasted the recreated Jollibee menu, their reactions were priceless. Laughter, wide-eyed amazement, and a few delighted gasps. It wasn't long before the restaurant became a local sensation, a bridge of joy, laughter, and shared love for food that transcended borders. One evening, while cleaning up after another busy day, the group reflected on their journey. What began as a casual craving had evolved into something much greater. They hadn't just opened a restaurant, they had created a cultural exchange, a space where Ukrainians could experience a taste of the Philippines. It had taught them patience, creativity, and the importance of joy in even the simplest of moments. Even the neighbors had joined in the enthusiasm. Children came by to collect leftovers and play under the makeshift decorations. Adults lingered, sharing stories of travels, childhood, and dreams. The restaurant became more than just a place to eat. It became a community hub, a beacon of laughter and warmth. Yet, despite their success, the friends remained humble. They constantly traveled to Manila to learn new recipes, adapt menus, and bring back more of the culture they had fallen in love with. Each trip reinforced their admiration for the Filipino approach to food, warm, generous, and infused with joy. As the months passed, the restaurant's influence grew. Families who had never tried Filipino food were now fans of sweet-style spaghetti. Teens who had laughed at the idea of eating Chickenjoy at home were now lining up on weekends with their friends. And every time the delivery trucks arrived from the Philippines, the friends felt a surge of excitement, like a small piece of Manila had arrived in their hands. Through it all, the heart of their mission remained unchanged, to share joy, laughter, and the unmistakable warmth of Filipino hospitality. It wasn't just about food. It was about creating memories, forging friendships, and building a bridge between two very different worlds. The Ukrainian friends had discovered something profound: that happiness, much like love, could travel across continents, carried in golden fried chicken, sweet noodles, and peach mango pies. And so, their journey continued, one plate at a time, one laugh at a time, as the city of Kyiv embraced a little piece of the Philippines in every bite. The restaurant in Kiev had become a phenomenon. What began as a modest experiment had grown into a bustling hub of laughter, conversation, and the unmistakable aroma of fried chicken and sweet-style spaghetti. Lines stretched down the street on weekends, with locals eager to taste what had once been a distant Filipino delight. The friends watched in awe as their little idea transformed into a cultural movement, a bridge connecting Ukraine to the Philippines through food. As popularity grew, so did the complexity of running the operation. Frozen Jollibee shipments arrived weekly, arriving in crates that seemed impossibly large, requiring careful storage and rotation to keep everything fresh. The friends developed a strict system. Every box unpacked became a celebration. Children peeked through the windows as the boxes were carried inside, their eyes wide with anticipation. Even the delivery men, seasoned professionals, found themselves laughing at the joyful chaos as the friends danced around the boxes, cracking jokes in a mix of Ukrainian and broken English. The restaurant itself had expanded. A small annex was added to accommodate larger parties, and bright decorations mimicking the Philippines' cheerful red and yellow theme adorned the walls. Filipino music played softly in the background, and occasionally, someone from the kitchen would burst into song in homage to the country that had inspired their creation. Patrons felt like they had been transported to Manila for a few delicious hours, and the friends couldn't have been happier to provide that escape. Every day brought new stories. One morning, a family arrived with 2 generations, eager to try Chickenjoy for the first time. The grandmother, initially skeptical, hesitated at first bite, but her face lit up as the crispy chicken and flavorful sides worked their magic. "This tastes like happiness," she said, prompting a chorus of laughter from the table. A young couple on a first date tried to share a yum burger and peach mango pie, nervously laughing at the sweetness of it all, while a group of college students debated whether sweet-style spaghetti should be eaten with a fork or a spoon. Even local journalists took notice. Articles began appearing online, describing the phenomenon as a taste of the Philippines in Ukraine. Reporters marveled at how a small group of friends had managed to import not just a menu, but an entire cultural experience. They interviewed the team about their dedication, their trips to Manila, and their meticulous attempts to recreate authentic flavors. The friends, ever humble, attributed the success to their love of food and a desire to share joy, rather than any ambition for fame. As the restaurant grew, so did the demand for frozen Jollibee products. Patrons asked if they could purchase items to take home, and the friends quickly realized that shipment after shipment from the Philippines would be necessary to keep up. They developed a subscription-style system for loyal customers, who could order monthly deliveries of frozen Chickenjoy, spaghetti packs, and pies. Each box arrived with the familiar red and yellow branding, and the excitement it generated rivaled Christmas morning. Social media buzzed with unboxing videos, reactions, and even mini reviews, helping the restaurant expand its reputation far beyond Kyiv. Amid the success, humorous incidents occurred daily. One day, a customer mistook the chicken for traditional Ukrainian fried chicken and complained that it was too sweet. The staff, barely able to contain their laughter, explained the Filipino touch in a gentle, teasing way. Another time, a child tried to use the peach mango pie as a hat, prompting a photo frenzy that ended up on every social media platform in the city. Even the friends themselves weren't immune to comedy. While trying to demonstrate proper serving techniques, one accidentally spilled a large tray of spaghetti onto the floor, prompting a coordinated cleanup while customers cheered in good humor. Beyond laughter, the restaurant became a heartwarming center of community. Local charities were invited to taste events, and leftover meals were donated to families in need. Students studying international cuisine came to learn from the friends, while curious locals wanted to understand the culture behind the dishes. The Filipino philosophy of hospitality, serving with joy, generosity, and warmth, was alive and thriving in the heart of Kyiv, and it was evident in the interactions between staff and patrons alike. The friends also took the opportunity to educate. Each table featured small cards explaining the origins of Jollibee's iconic dishes, the history of the chain in the Philippines, and fun facts about Filipino culture. Patrons delighted in reading about how sweet-style spaghetti included hot dogs and a distinct tomato sauce, or how Chickenjoy was celebrated as a cultural symbol of joy and togetherness. The information added depth to the experience, giving customers not just food, but a story with each bite. As winter approached, the team decided to host a small Filipino festival outside the restaurant. Tables were set up with tropical decorations, colorful banners, and live music streamed from Manila. Guests arrived in cheerful anticipation, sampling traditional drinks and snacks. Children painted mini jeepneys on cardboard, and a small dance area allowed customers to learn basic steps to traditional Filipino songs. The festival became a hit, generating local media coverage and sparking curiosity from neighboring cities, who now wanted a taste of the Filipino experience themselves. Despite the hectic pace, the friends remained grounded in their mission. They celebrated each shipment from the Philippines as a victory, each smiling customer as proof that their love for Filipino cuisine had touched lives. The cultural exchange extended beyond food. Language lessons, music, and stories of Filipino customs became a staple of every visit. Patrons began leaving notes expressing gratitude for introducing them to a world they had never known, a reminder that food could serve as a universal bridge of understanding and joy. In one particularly memorable evening, a young couple celebrated their engagement at the restaurant, requesting a special table with Chickenjoy and spaghetti for their guests. The friends were honored, arranging a small Filipino-inspired ceremony with paper decorations and traditional Filipino music. As the couple shared their first dance, surrounded by friends, family, and the aroma of the dishes that had brought everyone together, the friends realized they had created more than a restaurant. They had fostered connections, laughter, and lasting memories. Through every challenge, from sourcing ingredients to teaching staff the nuances of Filipino flavor, the team had grown closer. Their bond was strengthened by shared dreams, relentless energy, and a love for both their new home and the culture that had inspired their work. They celebrated successes with mini feasts, laughed through mistakes, and cherished each moment of discovery. Every customer interaction reminded them why they had started this journey: to share joy, warmth, and a piece of the Philippines with everyone who walked through their doors. The phenomenon even began influencing other restaurants. Competitors, seeing the popularity of Filipino cuisine in Ukraine, started experimenting with similar flavors, but none could replicate the authenticity, dedication, and heartfelt energy of the friends' venture. Their little restaurant had become a benchmark for cultural appreciation and culinary excellence, a testament to how passion and love for food could unite people across continents. The Kyiv restaurant had become more than just a local phenomenon. It was a symbol of cross-cultural love, a beacon for Filipinos and Ukrainians alike, and a testament to the power of food to bridge continents. Media outlets from neighboring countries began sending reporters to cover the story, Intrigued by the notion that a Filipino fast food experience could inspire such excitement thousands of kilometers from Manila. The friends were invited to interviews, podcasts, and TV spots, sharing their journey with humor and humility. Each interview became a mini performance, filled with laughter, playful exaggeration, and anecdotes about the chaos of unpacking frozen shipments or teaching staff the proper way to serve Chickenjoy. They spoke of their trips to the Philippines, the lessons they had learned from local chefs, and the way Filipino hospitality had inspired their approach to running a restaurant. Audiences loved it, not just for the food, but for the story behind it, a story of passion, friendship, and cross-cultural love. Global recognition soon followed. Tourists visiting Ukraine added the restaurant to their itineraries, excited to experience a piece of Manila in the heart of Kiev. Social media exploded with photos and videos of steaming plates of sweet-style spaghetti, perfectly crispy Chickenjoy, and peach mango pies that seemed to glow with tropical warmth. Fans from Europe, Asia, and even North America shared their excitement, some even traveling specifically to try the food and meet the team who had brought the Filipino culinary spirit to Ukraine. The friends embraced the newfound attention with characteristic humor. One viral video captured them dancing around a crate of frozen Jollibee chicken, pretending to fight over the last box, with captions joking that this was Ukraine's most valuable treasure. Another clip showed them trying to teach a local news anchor how to properly eat sweet-style spaghetti with a fork and spoon, resulting in giggles and minor spaghetti spills all over the studio floor. Each misadventure reinforced the charm of their endeavor: authenticity, joy, and the willingness to embrace imperfection. Expansion plans naturally followed. The friends opened a second location in Lviv, modeled after the Kyiv branch, but incorporating feedback from their loyal customers. Local architects helped design a space that balanced Ukrainian charm with Filipino vibrancy, complete with murals depicting Manila streets and colorful decor inspired by Filipino fiestas. The launch was met with long lines, festive music, and even a small parade of children dressed in miniature Filipino costumes, waving paper flags and giggling at the novelty of it all. Meanwhile, the frozen Jollibee shipments continued to play a central role. Coordinating the logistics had become a well-oiled machine. Trucks and crates were carefully scheduled, ensuring the flavors remained authentic and fresh. Special events were built around the arrival of shipments. Customers could watch live as boxes were unpacked, some even trying to guess which dish would come out first. The excitement was tangible, and the friends realized that the simple act of sharing food had created a form of communal joy unlike anything they had ever imagined. Hilarious moments kept happening, proving that even as their business expanded, the heart of their story remained playful. During one particularly busy night, a customer mistook a tray of sweet-style spaghetti for a dessert and attempted to eat it with a spoon, only to be gently corrected by the staff amid laughter from nearby tables. Another evening, a child accidentally sprayed peach mango pie filling across the floor, prompting an impromptu dance party where staff and customers slipped, slid, and laughed together. These moments, messy and unpredictable, became the essence of the restaurant's charm, a place where people came not only to eat, but to experience joy. Yet the emotional heart of the story ran deeper. Families who had visited the Philippines years ago shared memories of Manila streets, Jollibee parties, and warm Filipino hospitality. Parents explained to their children how food could carry stories, how flavors could connect generations, and how a single fried chicken meal could spark dreams of cultural curiosity and friendship. Young couples laughed together, trying to perfect the art of sharing spaghetti without creating a mess, while older patrons nostalgically recounted their travels, bridging gaps between continents, generations, and cultures. The friends also began hosting monthly Filipino cultural nights. Visitors could experience traditional Filipino music, watch dance performances streamed live from Manila, and even learn basic Tagalog phrases. One memorable night featured a cooking demonstration led by a chef from Cebu, teaching attendees how to properly prepare Chickenjoy and the secret to achieving the perfect sweetness in spaghetti sauce. Guests participated enthusiastically, some attempting to sing along with the Filipino songs, others asking questions about Filipino traditions, and everyone leaving with smiles and full stomachs. As international media coverage grew, the friends were invited to culinary events across Europe. They shared their story, showcasing how a group of passionate Ukrainians had successfully brought Filipino cuisine and culture to their country. The story resonated widely. It wasn't just about fast food, it was about bridging worlds, creating joy, and demonstrating that cultural exchange could be accessible, fun, and deeply heartwarming. Despite the growing fame, the friends remained humble. They continued traveling to the Philippines, not as celebrities, but as students of culture. Each trip brought new inspirations, flavors, and techniques. They experimented with regional specialties, learned about Filipino culinary traditions, and returned home ready to share their findings with Kiev and Lviv. Every meal served was a testament to their dedication, their love for the Philippines, and their commitment to connecting people through food. The global impact became tangible when visitors from other countries began requesting frozen Jollibee shipments and recipes. Ukrainian fans started small-scale pop-ups in neighboring cities, inspired by the success story, all while crediting the original team for their authenticity and passion. Social media pages filled with glowing reviews, videos of excited diners, and heartfelt messages praising not only the food, but the warmth and dedication behind it. Hilarious incidents continued to unfold. One viral moment involved a customer attempting to recreate the Chickenjoy experience at home, only to mistakenly deep-fry a tray of frozen spaghetti. The video went viral, generating laughter and appreciation for the difficulty of perfecting Filipino flavors. Another memorable night featured a spontaneous karaoke session where patrons belted out classic Filipino hits, some in Tagalog, some in Ukrainian accented English, creating a fusion of cultures that was pure joy. The friends often reflected on their journey, marveling at how a simple love for food had transformed their lives. They had started with a craving, then a few frozen boxes, a modest restaurant, and ended up at the center of a cultural phenomenon. They had built connections, friendships, and a sense of global community, all through the shared love of joy-infused cuisine. Every plate, every laugh, every spilled noodle carried meaning, a reminder of what had brought them together: curiosity, courage, and the willingness to share happiness. By the story's conclusion, the restaurant was no longer just a place to eat. It had become a movement. Filipinos in Ukraine felt at home, Ukrainians experienced the warmth of Filipino culture, and tourists traveled from across Europe to witness the phenomenon. The friends' dedication, humor, and heartwarming approach had created something extraordinary: a living, breathing celebration of culture, flavor, and human connection. Through laughter, shared meals, and countless small emotional moments, the friends had achieved what they had set out to do. They had shown the world that joy knows no borders, that love can travel through fried chicken and sweet-style spaghetti, and that a single cultural experience could spark laughter, learning, and a lifelong appreciation for the richness of another country. Kyiv, Lviv, and beyond would never be the same. Not because of a restaurant alone, but because of the hearts and passion that brought a piece of the Philippines to life thousands of kilometers away. And so, the journey continued. Each day, new faces arrived, ready to taste, laugh, and experience the magic. Each day, the friends learned something new, laughed a little louder, and shared joy a little wider. The story of Jollibee in Ukraine had become bigger than food. It had become a celebration of life, love, and the universal happiness that comes from a simple, shared meal.